Today we are talking about the new industry plant, okay? Four bats. I don't know if y'all heard of them. I'll put a slight little snippet in here. Basically talking about this industry plant, this vermin, this tree in the ground infesting our forest of hip hop. But nah, seriously, what's up, guys? Today we are talking about four bats, and we are talking about the industry plant allegations. Y'all probably think there's gonna be a video about me talking about, oh, he's definitely industry plant. Oh, he's definitely like the worst thing in hip hop, like for the culture and everything like that. No, bro. Actually, the opposite. Okay, this is a pro four bats video, and I don't even like four bats like that. Like, I listen to his he has two songs out right now. And we gonna give a background, but basically I support the man. I support the homie. But let me give you a background. So four bats, not too long ago. I'll put some clips in here, just so some dates in here. But basically, like, sometime last year, mid of last year, four bats dropped a video where he was with some of his homies. They had bandanas on, and they were doing one of those like stereotypical like freestyles where you go up to the mic and you start freestyling, whatever, or you start rapping your song or whatever. But everybody assumed it was gonna be some like thug type of vibe, like guns, shooting, blah 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 blah, because it was 8 people in the back and they had ski masks on. When I see a man in a ski mask, I assume he's gonna start shooting too, bro. I make the same assumption. You got a ski mask on, you probably shooting something. And so that's what I assumed as well. But when he comes on, he got an angelic voice, bro. It's beautiful, okay? It's beautiful. Something you never heard before. It sounds like Brent Fires, but a little bit softer, bro. When he's talking about love, he's talking about sliding to this girl's house at 4 a.m. or something. It threw everybody for a loop. So right after that, because of the like juxtaposition of the video and the song and everything about it, basically everybody was like freaking out, bro. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, it probably got hundreds of millions of views within the first week of it dropping, which is unheard of. This man has one song out now, which is that song. That's the only song. So probably like a month after that, or maybe a couple weeks after that, he drops another song. So that's his second song. So we got 2 songs out right now. But since that point, so that was like maybe 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago. Since that point, he has had a co-sign from Kanye. Okay, he's had a co-sign from Kanye, and now a lot of rappers have been shouting him out. A lot of rappers have been giving him props, and he just keeps going viral over and over again. Like, people are seeing him. He's posting the other song. He's just going viral constantly, and this is like a new artist, so it's kind of shocking to everybody. But getting that cosign was the start of the industry plant allegations. The second part of that is that Drake yesterday, I think it was yesterday, so March 8th, officially signed him. Now, from the reports that I saw a few reports of he actually got signed, and I saw a few saying that he signed an EP deal. Basically, Drake gets a percentage of the EP as long as he funds it and things like that. I'm going to make basically a video about Drake signing artists and featuring with artists later, like new age artists later. That'll be like in a video probably released in a couple of days. I think it's really interesting that he's had both these cosigns, a literal record deal now from Drake with 2 songs out, okay? And it's not actually unheard of for new age artists to get record deals when their first one blows up. Normally what happens from the interviews that I've seen, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. What I've normally seen is once you get a song that blows up, a label will offer to buy the song from you, right? They'll buy the song to make all the money off of it, but they'll give you like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million on top just to buy the record from you because they think it's going to keep growing and they think they can place it in ads and X, Y, and Z and do all this other stuff. An EP deal, to my knowledge, is a little bit different. It's more of a classic record, like label deal, where they fund a portion of it, they get a percentage off top, and maybe he owes money back. I'm not 100% sure on the exact details of his deal, but from my understanding, that's kind of like the usual what happens in the industry. Does that make him an industry plant? Probably, nigga. I'm gonna be honest. Probably. He's probably an industry plant. I'm not gonna lie to you. By the definition of what everybody considers an industry plant, which is like having connects to the industry before you enter it, I think he probably does. And I saw somebody say that his manager was some director. I'll try to put up information if I find it. I saw a quick little TikTok. Don't know if it's true. I haven't researched it yet. But there's people talking about his manager or somebody that signed him or something being the director, creative director of this big company or other artist, something like that. And based on how fast he blew up, his kind of trajectory from meeting Kanye, being co-signed by Kanye, then signed by Drake, I would say you probably had some industry connect. Something got to make that happen. Somebody has to vouch for you. Like, if you don't know anybody in the industry and your song blows up, you really only have the labels that like really reach out to you and stuff like that. Maybe some artists do if they see potential, but like one song, like people come and go very easily. So co-signing somebody is not a thing that you do lightly, or else you'd be doing it all the time. Many people blow up every year that just we never see again. So is the industry playing by those standards? By the standards of he knew somebody coming into the industry, and now because of his industry connects, he's performing a lot better. Probably. Okay. My argument, though, in this video, and this is the main premise of kind of the video and what I want to talk about, is that I don't think being an industry plant is inherently a negative thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, right? Imagine, for example, your cousin or your dad works at State Farm or works at like corporate McDonald's, okay? And they're a director at this company or like a manager or somebody in charge, and they give you like a role, okay? Based on that recommendation, that's why you got the job. That's why you got even considered for the job. Doesn't mean you weren't qualified, but had you not had that connection, you probably would have had a much less of a shot. I think the industry is the same way. You may know somebody, doesn't mean you'll automatically get put on. Like if you can't do the job, you'll get fired, or like you won't last, or maybe you won't even get hired if you don't have any qualifications, even with that nepotism, because like HR exists and stuff. There's probably HR within the industry that checks you at these certain checkpoints, right? Like I think one of those checkpoints is like people that listen to your music, because if you know all the connections in the industry but your music is ass, it's not going to matter because your music's ass. If anything, if you do become popular, it'll be because your music is not good, okay? And that's not really what we want, right? So one, there's a checkpoint, your music has to be good. Two, you got to be cool enough when you meet these industry people that you don't make it weird, okay? And they don't be like, hey, I'm not going to put this boy on because he's being really odd to me. Or I'm not going to put so-and-so on because they're acting kind of different, money hungry, like greedy. So there's a few checkpoints, and then labels, companies actually have to mess with you. Another checkpoint in the industry. I think the first two matter the most, and I think companies matter last. They still matter, though. Like those execs at OVO still had to mess with forbats. Drake still had to mess with forbats. Kanye still had to mess with forbats, and we the people had to mess with forbats. So when people say industry plant, I feel like they don't think about those things, and they just think, oh, he has industry connects, so automatically he's going to be rich and famous. No, that's not how it's going to work. Maybe he'll be rich, but definitely not famous and successful for music. Especially if your music's ass, nobody's going to listen to it, even if Rockefeller posts you. World Star posts people all the time. Doesn't matter because their music isn't that good sometimes. So really, like, it just kind of depends, I think. Like, a true industry plant is somebody who I think succeeds without having the qualifications or skills. Forbats, in my opinion, has the qualifications and skills. Might have known somebody, but I don't think that's bad. Like, if we get good music, why are we complaining? If we like his music, why do we complain about being an industry plant? Same thing about, like, Olivia Rodrigo. I heard industry plant allegations. But if a lot of people love the music that she puts out, then even if she is an industry plant, that's fine. Maybe we shouldn't put that negative connotation on this person because they knew the right people. Okay, they got a lucky spawn point. Most of us, if we even have the time and energy to think about, oh, this person's an industry plant, have good spawn points. Our lives are not that bad. If you really had a bad spawn point or a bad situation, you wouldn't care about forbats being an industry plant. And so I'm not going to put blame on somebody just because they got lucky or they made the right connections, the right moves, and these other people didn't or didn't have that opportunity. And maybe in the argument of like the GOAT conversation, maybe we bring that up in terms of like, oh, I'm not going to, like, let's say it gets to like Kendrick level of like fame and popularity and acclaim. Maybe then we can be like, well, he only got there because of his industry connects, right? Maybe we can say that. And I think that's a more valid argument. But I think when people are just saying like, oh, like his music's not good, he's an industry plant, like we shouldn't listen to him. Like, no, if you like the music, listen to him. If you don't, you don't. And just because he knew somebody, like we shouldn't say that he's bad or anything, bro. Like, who cares? Who really cares? Like, I'm not going to spend my time and energy caring about somebody I don't really know like that, about people that they know. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's just crazy. But yeah, I just think it's a very interesting conversation. I don't want to make this video too long-winded or overdone. So my final stance, my final thought process on this is he probably is an industry plant, but most people are that make it to the industry. If you don't have connections, it's so much harder to do things, okay? Just base level, just think about any job, think about any application you've done. If you don't know people at the company, it's hard to get the job, right? Or situation or whatever you're doing. So yeah, I mean, that's just what happens. Like, your mentors sometimes are people in the industry, and that's okay. As long as he's making good music, I'm fine with him having these industry connects. Like, I'm okay with that. We're getting good product out of it, so why are we complaining? I don't understand. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my video. If you guys like the content, let me know. As always, I'm Kayhon, aka Kayhon Puts You On. I just talk about music, any music topics. So if you have your own thoughts, please comment down below. I'm very curious about your takes. I always try to reply as best as possible, as quick as possible. So if y'all could, that'd be great. As always, man, I appreciate y'all for always supporting, always subscribing, always liking. We're almost at 700 subscribers. Maybe we hit that low key, and if we did, congrats. I don't know if we did yet. I know we were like 3 away. So yeah, man, I love you guys and appreciate you guys. Peace out. Be smooth.